Now the topic before us is understanding autonomous transactions in the balance of payments. In the context of balance of payments, autonomous transactions are those international economic transactions which are driven primarily by profit motives and independent of a country's BOP position. What it means? We have already learnt that in the case of balance of payments, a record is somewhat like this. On the one hand side, there are credits entries, and on the other side there are debit entries. When we talk about debit items, it results into outflow of foreign exchange, whereas credit items are pertain to inflow of foreign exchange. That is, all those economic transactions which result into inflow are to be recorded on the credit side, and all those economic transactions which result into outflow of foreign exchange are recorded on debit side. So when the record is prepared in case of balance of payments, these are those transactions, autonomous transactions are those transactions which are driven by profit motive. For example, if a residents of the country do export, or if a country does export, why? To earn profit. If we import, it may be possible that import is, by importing goods, we are getting goods at cheap rates. Imported goods are cheap, and the businessman will import goods if the goods available locally are available at higher price, and it will naturally do import so that it can earn profit out of the imported price and the prevailing market price in the market at which the goods are available. So import and export and such like other activities are undertaken by the businesses only to earn profit. They do not pay attention whether by their activities foreign exchange will go out of the country or foreign exchange will come into the country. They only have one thing in mind: profit motive. So all those transactions in balance of payments where the motive is to earn profit, these transactions are known as autonomous transactions, and they are independent of the country's BOP situation. As already discussed, BOP situation may be either balanced, that is, outflow may be equal to inflow in foreign exchange, or outflow may be more than inflow, or outflow of foreign exchange may be less than inflow. In case of these transactions do not take care what is the present position, whether balance of payment is balanced or balance of payment is deficit or balance of payment is surplus. So autonomous transactions are sometimes also known as above the line items. These transactions are recorded first in the BOP accounting, that is, when we prepare the record, here they are recorded earlier in the front rows. They are recorded first in the BOP accounting, and if there is any difference between outflow and inflow, then to cover that gap, if transactions are taken place, they are to be recorded separately. Those transactions which are undertaken to fill the gap in between debit and credit are known as, that is the transactions which take place to take care of the gap between inflow and outflow of foreign exchange, are known as accommodating transactions. We will also read about the same later on. Autonomous transactions are the main component of international economic activity. Then there are certain examples such as export and import of goods and services are autonomous transactions, because import and export is done with the view of profit motive. In the same way, people may purchase, or the residents of the country may involve in purchase and sale of stocks, bonds and other financial assets in the international markets with having a eye on profit. In the same way, foreign companies may make investment to establish or expand their business in the country. They have only one motive in mind: to earn profit. After recording all autonomous transactions, the balance of payment may show a surplus or deficit depending on the net outcome of all economic activities. It means that when we are preparing the record of balance of payments, and here we are making debit entries and here credit, and when we total debit and make the total of the credit side, that is what is the inflow of foreign exchange and what is the outflow of foreign exchange. Outflow will be mentioned on the debit side, inflow will be mentioned on the credit side. And when we make the total of both the sides and we arrive at surplus or deficit, that is credit may be more than debit or credit may be less than debit. When these two situations are there, then the net outcome may be surplus or deficit BOP, depending on the net outcome of the economic activities. That is, economic activities may either result into deficit or surplus, though it may also result into balance. That is, inflow of foreign exchange is equal to outflow foreign exchange, though it is very rare. Either it is surplus or deficit. Mostly it is deficit balance of payment situation in most of the countries. Then we will also discuss here accommodating transactions. We have learnt that autonomous transactions are known as above the line. Now accommodating transactions are known as below the line items, and they are recorded to balance out any existing surplus or deficit arising from autonomous transactions. That is, when autonomous transactions take place, they may result into either outflow may be more or inflow may be more. Inflow of foreign exchange may be more or outflow of foreign exchange may be more. Any of the two situations may be there. So to fill the gap between the two, these transactions, which are known as accommodating transactions, are recorded. That is, the entry of autonomous transactions is made. These transactions represent the deliberate government interventions to influence the BOP. That is, accommodating transactions are undertaken by the government of the country. That is, if outflow is more, that is foreign exchange which has to leave the country is more than the inflow of the foreign exchange, then to fill the gap, the government may resort to foreign borrowing, or there may be official reserve movements. That is, the government of the country always has some foreign reserves, then it may make entries with regard to the foreign exchange reserves. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.